Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And this is special. This PC handheld is special. This is look like to be like on the spec alone, look like to be the ultimate PC handheld that you should buy if you just don't care about the price. Like the price is not your problem. It doesn't matter. This is the one to get with the 9-inch OLED. And this is the screen, the OLED screen with the 9-inch. This is the exactly same screen as the Redmagic Astra. Let me show you the Astra. It's the same screen. You see the resolution, the native resolution, 24 by 1504. It's the same screen, literally the same screen. So meaning it's gonna look insane. Your game's gonna look insane. Like, man, it is still my favorite OLED screen even after getting the OLED from the Legion Go 2. I still prefer the Astra. Even with streaming, it just looks, I don't know why, it just looks better and sharper because it also higher resolution as well. But we're not talking about the Legion Go 2. We're talking about the AYANEO 2, not AYANEO 2, AYANEO Next 2. And I used to own an AYANEO 2 device. It was like a few years ago, like 2 years ago. It was like on a 1600. I think it's 1600U, the version before the Z1 Extreme or the 7800U. It was like my first and my last device I own on the AYANEO. It's not because the device is bad. It's because the new one is so much more expensive than the other one, and they don't offer that much like better, you know. This is the only one that is come out with a like AI Mark 395 and an OLED screen, the same as the Astra. This is the ultimate one to get. Not only that, it actually has a eternal battery as well, 115 watt. This is the biggest battery. The battery itself is bigger than even the biggest one we get with the Xbox Ally X. We got 80 on that. Here we got 115. It might cause some issue if you want to fly. Some airline wouldn't support over 100 watt, but it also depends on airline as well. But most likely, you wouldn't want to fly. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some people will want to fly on it. For me, like for my use case alone, I most likely only play in the house. And this, all the spec alone, it's just like, it feels like the ultimate handheld to get. But I still don't know if I want to get it. You know what I mean? Because this thing is gonna be expensive. With an OLED, HDR, the only thing that is missing is the VR. Let me show you I saw a comment on Reddit that they said, I would rather having an LCD screen with a VR than an OLED without the VR. I had to disagree with that. Let me show you a little bit. I'm not saying the person is wrong. It's just that for my use case only, not use case, for my experience. Let me show you. So this is the Y700 Gen 2. Let me get the Gen 4. Let me get my Gen 4. So this is the Gen 4. Now I'm playing at 2560 by 1600. So 1600p and 120 fps, 120 megabyte bitrate. You see, like both of these running on the same thing, but this screen is an LCD screen. This screen is an OLED, the Astra Y700 Gen 4. So like, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, like when I'm painting around like this. Can you see the difference? Like when you pan around like this, like the LCD screen, I think if you never had a like never using OLED and then you just use an LCD, you would say, okay, the VR would be more important than the OLED. For me, and the OLED, it just, even without the VR, would feel more responsive because of the, I think they call it like pixel response time or something, that makes everything look smoother than the LCD screen. Let me pen again. Oh my god, I failed my mission. Like when I pen it like this, you see, it's kind of sluggish. You know what I mean? This is like 120 max, like 120 FPS. You see, like it's kind of sluggish, and you see like much smoother. I don't know if you can tell on the camera because I'm only recording that at 60 FPS. But it just, not only that, not that when I like go up like this, when I play like this, you can feel like, I think you cannot tell the difference on the camera, but you can I can look like in person, I can tell, okay, the OLED is just so much smoother, even though it has like rendering on the same resolution, the same frame rate, like everything the same, but the bottom is just so much like smoother, you know. And also the Y700 Gen 4, okay, it's fair again. The Y700 Gen 4 has dynamic changing the frame rate, so it's act like a VR as well, but it's on Android. So like in terms of like smoothness, I still say if you get an OLED, it wouldn't be much of a problem. You know what I mean? Even without the VR. And also, the only screen with a VR and OLED is on the Legion Go 2, and it was like custom made. But with this device, the AYANEO Next 2 is with an OLED, but it's from the Astra, so it's not like a custom made for it. So you're gonna have to sacrifice something. But from my honest opinion, I say even without the VR, it's gonna be much smoother than even the LCD with the VR. So I just want to talk about it a little bit. So let me show you again, like when I'm panning around like this, or even like go up in speed. Like on the bottom, it just like, I think they call it like pixel response time. On the, not only like the color, you see the color different. It's just that if you play, I know it, I haven't noticed it because I used to have this. I used to use my Legion Y700 Gen 2 to stream everything and to play all my games. But after the Astra and I got the Y700 Gen 4, so I stream on the same resolution. So when I switch, you know, like if I don't want to play on my Y700, I play on my Astra. So let's say I play on my Astra. Okay, it's getting smooth, and then my Astra is out of battery. I want to charge it, so I switch back. I turn it off, and I switch back to my Y700, and then I start playing. So I feel like, wait, why does it feel a little bit sluggish? Not sluggish in terms of like performance, but the image like rendering in my eyes in person, it just look, what do you call it? Not as smooth, you know what I mean? It's kind of blurry when you're panning around something fast like this, you know, like in here, like around it, it's not as smooth as an OLED. So after I like switch back and forth, I noticed like a big difference between like smoothness, and also like this is the Tab S9. It's the same thing. Let me put the Astra to the side. Now the I don't know if you can see. I hope the video is not gonna be long. I just want to show you, you know. So this is the AMOLED screen. Oh, got some sound. A little bit too loud. Let me do it like this. Like when they pan around like this. Man, I really don't know if you can see on the camera. Like it's just on the bottom with the AMOLED screen, because the AMOLED is like the same technology on the like the OLED. So you're gonna get almost the same pixel response time like an OLED. It just like it looks smoother even without the OLED, you know. So I think I made my point for that. So I don't think the person is wrong. I just personal preference. For me, the OLED even without the VR would still look smoother than the LCD with the VR. So that's the only thing I want to talk about. So here let's get back to the the topic should be in here, but I had to talk about that a little bit. But let me talk about the resolution a little bit. The resolution is a little bit weird because it's 2400 by 1504. So it's 16 by 10. It's the same resolution. The same aspect ratio as the Astra or the Tab S9 that I just showed earlier. But it's a little bit weird. So if you play games at this native resolution, sometimes games like Street Fighter 6 or Monster in a While, they're gonna lock the frame rate, not the frame rate, the resolution to 1080p because those games doesn't support 16 by 10 aspect ratio, and they lock it. You cannot unlock the higher resolution. And with this chip, you can actually play like Street Fighter 6, for example, at a higher resolution, not just 1080p. It is 1440p because this chip is actually pretty insane. So it's kind of gonna be a bit of a problem because I hope they actually have some like a custom made to make it 2560 by 1600. You know, like a custom like a file register to make it have an option to go up, but I don't know if the AMD can do that. I know that the NVIDIA, because I can do it on my PC monitor, but I don't know if you can actually go higher. I know that you can drop lower. You can drop it to 1920 by 1200, but I don't know if you can do it on the AMD. Obviously, the down you can do it, but the up, like going up upper than the resolution itself to unlock the frame rate. Games that I had some problem with it was the Days Gone as well. One of them, Days Gone, and also Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Rebirth doesn't have that problem, but Remake had that problem, that it locked the resolution to 1080p. When I know it because I actually tried to stream my Astra with this exact resolution. So I had to use custom resolution 2560 by 1600. So it's still the same aspect ratio. It's just a little bit higher resolution, if you know what I'm saying. So, and I want to talk about a little bit here. They want to compare it to the GPD Win 5, the one that fly Apex, and the last one, the one that you should get. Like, I might piss off some people, but if the price is not a problem for you, I think this is the one to get. Because it had battery inside, it has OLED 9-inch, and it's gonna be the best screen on the market. Like a PC handheld, even without the VR. I stand by that. Because I own the Legion Go 2. I know how it looks. It looks really good. It's insane. But it doesn't have that higher resolution, you know. This is 16 by, not 16 by, 1500p. So it's a higher resolution. It's gonna look, it has a sharper PPI, pixel per inch, higher resolution. So it's gonna look sharper, but it doesn't have VR. And even without the VR, I still think the OLED on here is gonna look better. Because I still prefer playing on my Astra than my Legion Go 2 when I stream. And there's a lot of things that we still don't know, like the price. They still haven't announced the price yet. Because I think they're still gonna have to figure out with the RAM, like high price right now situation. So I think like, and also like AYANEO's like having bad reputation for not delivering the device on time, but I hope this time they can do that because it's a higher price device. You know, there's some people saying they ordered the device from AYANEO, and then another one come out and they still haven't received the previous one, the previous version that they announced. That's just crazy. So I hope this is like, I don't know if that's true. I just repeating on watching people like Wolf Dan. I think Wolf Dan talk about the AYANEO delivery on their devices, but all the three with the 395 AMD CPU, I think this is the one to get. And I think this is gonna be insanely big. Not only that it's big, it's gonna be heavy as well. It would be a miracle if they can actually make it less than a kilogram, because even the Legion Go 2 is 920 gram and it's only had 64 watt hour. This has 115 watt hour, so it's about like 40 something. I think it's like 48 or something, 48% bigger battery. It's almost half the battery. That's just crazy. So, and with the battery, even with the Legion Go 2 is only 74, and this has 115. It's gonna be so much more. I hope they actually manage to, but I don't have that much faith though. I think it's at least 1,100 gram, so 1.1 kilogram. I think that would be acceptable. And also we had all the features that we want, like we got trackpad, we got everything, we got front firing speaker. I hope this time it's actually good, because AYANEO 2 that I used to own doesn't have that much good of a speakers. It feels like an afterthought, but this I hope is actually good speakers. The only thing that I kind of don't like is like this size. Not that doesn't bother me because it looks comfortable, but here it's like the D-pad is a little bit too close to each other, you know, because they had another trackpad. I just wish they only had one trackpad. I think this trackpad is kind of useless. I had to be honest. For me, one is enough. I don't need two, because if they don't have this trackpad, they can actually put it down a little bit, so it's a little bit more space between the D-pad and the joystick. And the joystick itself, because the AYANEO 2, they are like a premium device. They always feel like so smooth, like the ring around them when you move. It's so smooth, and they had those like I didn't bring my Legion Go 2 from upstairs. I should bring it. Like just like the Legion Go 2, they had those protective ring on the joystick, and they feel so smooth. But it's not like a full size joystick. I think it's still using a little bit smaller joystick, just like the Legion Go 2 or the Legion Go 1. But it's gonna feel like a full size, because the travel is gonna be like really far. So it feel like a full size joystick, but it's not actually a full size joystick, like a PS4, PS5, or Xbox controller. So I think that's the only thing I want to talk about. Outside the price, if price is not an issue, get this. That's crazy. This is gonna be insane. I'm really glad that we're getting more options with an OLED, because after using the Redmagic Astra as my, like literally I use it every day, and it's been my best purchase this year alone. And I'm really glad that PC Handheld is coming out with that exact screen. So that's the video. Thanks for watching.